How to create a checkerboard design like this in Affinity Photo, PC or Mac. Really easy. I'm going to show you the steps now. First thing, you need a layer, and I would suggest fill it with black. So once you've done that, all you need to do is go to Filters and then down to Colors and Procedural Texture. In Procedural Texture, you get this panel. Usefully, there's some presets at the top, and I would suggest just go down here and go with Checkered. Select that. Straight away, you've got this checkerboard pattern design, and you can manipulate it using this square count here, and you can just change it. Now the value here is C. It's a custom input, and you can see it in this equation. Now the equation does look slightly odd. You don't have to touch much of it, just change a few things. In this case, I'm just going to add an additional custom input for each of the channels. This procedural texture is really useful because you can access the individual channels to create some really amazing color effects. So let's just pull this out and just drag this bit here, and you can go down here. See the R there at the bottom. All you need is just click it 3 times. So just click, and that will add 3 additional custom inputs. I'm going to use those. Unfortunately, it defaults to 0. It'd be nice if it was 1, but it's going to put it to 1 now. And now with that, you need to actually set them up here in the equations. Now at the moment, I've just got this one, R, G and B, means the red, green and blue channel are being modified at the same time with the same setting. But now I'm just going to modify it, and I'm just going to put A and then an asterisk. That's A times. And I can also put it here as well with the RY. So there. Now if I just tab off that, it's still doing it all for all of the channels, but now I can just manipulate this as well. You can see this modifies it as well. The A. Well, what you can also do is create some more equations. Now at this point, you see this doesn't look good, but what you can do, you can simply just copy it here and then paste these into these others here. So it's exactly the same as before, but you notice here R, G and B and the A. It's worked it out in a slightly odd way. It's not the way I wanted it, but what you can do, just click G and B. So you just turn them off. And also you can click here, the A as well, because what I want is to turn this one, the G, and also this one, the B. So that's the blue channel, the green channel and the red channel. So here, red, green and the blue one. So red, G and B. Well, now I've got A down here. I can just change that. So I can just put this as B. Now, because I've already used C, it was already used. So what I can do, I can go here and I can put D. So I'm just going to use this one, the D here. So again, just D there. Now I could split it over the Y as well as the X. So you could instead have an AX and AY. That's an option as well, but I'm just going to use them exactly the same. Now the great thing about this RX, the RX means you can move this around, reposition it. So if you've got multiple layers, you can reposition it, combine them in different ways. But also now you've got this, you can just go down here and maybe make it 3. And you can see now you get this lovely colourful effect with 3 of these squares. And if I go to 4, let's just go there to 4, you can then see I get 4 here. So you've got a lovely, unusual checkerboard design. Now also I can go here to the B, and that's for the green channel, and just do that. And you can see again, you've got this design, which if I push it up to 4, let's push it to 4, you can see now I've got those 4 there, 4 there, 4 there. It's 4 and 4, but you've still, of course, seen the blue because of this. If I put this to 3, you can see now it's slightly out of sync. So you get this slightly odd effect, which I think creates some interesting, very intense backgrounds if you want to use it as a background or maybe as an overlay on top of an image. Also, maybe use it with text. You can use this as part of anything in Affinity Photo, maybe as a background for a shape. And again, you can just set it all back to 4, 4 and 4. So it, again, just slightly smaller version. Also, we can do still modify the C. So you can see, just zoom it in like that. And then I can go here and set it to say 8. Now you get obviously a different colour combination. Maybe go here with 6. And you can see then you get this sort of weird colour effect. And maybe go with 10 and so on. Literally thousands of combinations of colour effect can be created. Now you don't have to go with 10, you could go with 11. But the thing is, I've used R here. These are R's. This one's Z. Because it's Z means it's an integer. It can only be 9, 10, 11. Whereas this, you can put 8.2. And that just subtly moves it. So you might want to just change it just slightly so it's just aligned in a slightly different way. And you can do the same here. 6.2, like that. Now, you can, if you want, let's just try it. You can, if you want, put minus. And you can see the effect there, obviously nothing. So it can go negative as well. Now, when you click here, just to push this up, it will default back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, it doesn't go 6.2, etc. But you can see as you do that, you can always then just simply click in there and put 6.5, say. And you can create that sort of design. And by doing subtle decimals, 6.5, you will get some really interesting colour effects. You can, of course, modify this even more if you want. You can always go up here and put bracket RX plus RY, bracket, etc. You don't have to keep it all just RX. It can be modified in countless ways. So once you've done this, you can just apply it. However, great thing about this, you now can save the preset. If you want, you think this is a great feature, you can always go up here to preset, just go here, click here, and create a preset. And that will create a preset for this equation, and this. So it's all combined into a preset. And also it will save this information as well. So create preset. And I'm just going to go with check 1. And you can put it to a category, maybe pattern, noise, whatever you want to put it, maybe channel adjustments. I'm just going to go with colored patterns and click create. Also, you got down here, you've got an option if you say like, just change this and maybe go with something like 11. You think, you know what, I really want to save this preset for custom inputs. Well, you can do that. Just simply go here and create a values preset. So this one, just C1 or whatever you want to call it, and maybe a green, pink or something like that effect. So click create. And now at any point, you can always go back to default or go to C1. The default is the one that you create when you first create this preset. So this preset is the default. C1 is obviously when you've changed it maybe to 11 or 12, and you can still change it, maybe something like that, and save another one. Simply just click here and create another one, C2, and so on. Let's just go with C2, click create, and now apply it. Now, of course, once you've got this effect, it's quite intense, very intense, in fact. You can manipulate it further as well with other filters, or maybe apply, of course, filter, repeat, procedural texture, and so on to create maybe interesting combinations, maybe apply different blending modes, and much, much more. But let's just go with a filter. So filters, distort, maybe go with deform. Now, the best with this one is make certain the move tool is selected. So filters, distort, and deform. Just click here, and then you can simply add some pins and just distort this design. And you can see by doing that, drag this out, and you can create some really intense, weird and wonderful designs like that. And then, of course, click apply. Or undo that. You can also go filters, distort, maybe go with mirror. And with mirror, you can see now you've got obviously the split there, and you can change input, move that around. Now, really good trick, hold down the Alt Option key, and then this will move far smoother, just move it around like that. Or you can just simply edit the value there as well. Also, number of mirrors, you can see change that, and also you can change the origin point. So all kinds of weird and wonderful checkerboard designs can be created, colourful ones, by doing this. Let's just go back to this, or if you want, again, go for filters, down here to colours and procedural texture again. And instead of recreating it again, you can simply just go down here. But this one, I'm just going to use the checkered. So checkered, you've got that. And you can change this, obviously, if you want, maybe zoom in a bit or go the other way. If you're reasonable, just change this. This time you just get your basic checkerboard design and click apply. Great thing about this, you can always go here to layer, fade procedural texture. So you can always fade most of the filters. So fade procedural texture, select that. And you can see then you get this combination, and you can see you can modify this between two blends, and you can try out different combinations here, lighten, overlay, and so on, to create all kinds of weird and wonderful odd effects like that. A more interesting checkerboard design, which you can then also modify using the filters as well. So that is how to create a very quick grid checkerboard design in Affinity Photo, PC or Mac. Hope you found this of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Bye.